will start with the head of the USB, and I will take this pre-made cube inside the blender. So I will scale it down approximately to the same shape I want, the same shape and the size of the actual USB head. So I will just scale it. And once it is scaled, I will go to the object, apply, and all transforms so that it won't stretch. Now I'll go to the edit mode and right click on it to apply subdivision a couple of times. So this much, I guess, is fine. If it is a lot, we can decrease it whenever you want. But for now, or let me Control Z and reduce. So now what I will do is that I don't want the front sides. So I will select the front side, like front faces, and I will delete it with X delete. So it will become hollow. So I will take these two parts from the top and same as from the bottom. So on the USB head, this is the common holes you will see. So X and delete the faces. So this is pretty much what we were looking for. Now I will apply some loop cuts with Control R so that we can make that zigzag shape on our head. So one, I will apply it here, Control R again, and apply here. Then Control R. And I will apply one here, Control R, apply one here. And Control R, and I will apply one here. Control R a little bit here. So this have given us this or like a loop here, but I don't want, like I will select it with the Alt click, but I don't want few of them. So I will like deselect them like these with the Control key. I will deselect them. Okay. This one as well. I don't want it. I will deselect this as well. This one, this one, this one, and this one I will deselect. Like I will select, sorry, this one and this one, this one and this one I will select with the Shift key. And now what I will do is that I'll press Control B to bevel it. So I can have like a cut over here, like a you can say a gap here. And as soon you will bevel it, it will give you like a faces extra. So it will be already selected. So I will deselect the one that I don't want. Once it is deselected, I will go bottom one. I will select these with the Control key. You can deselect. And the one that we have right now, I will delete them with X and delete faces. Now I have these faces removed from there. So now what I will do, I will go to the object mode, but I will go to this option, viewport shading option, and turn on the cavity. So I can see the details what I have applied. So in the cavity, I will go to the type and choose the both cavity type. So I can at least see whatever like bevel, extrude, or cuts I'm applying. Okay. So now I can easily see that. Now I will go to the modifier mode and I will give it a depth because it's a paper thin. So I will go to the generate and solidify. It will give me this depth, and what I want the depth inside. So I will apply the thickness, but in negative, and I will turn on the even thickness so that it will be straight. So a little bit here, not that much. So this much I will give it the thickness, and then once it is done, you can apply the bevel modifier on it as well. So I will go to the add modifier, generate, and bevel modifier. Once you have the bevel modifier, you can do the settings you want. I will keep the amount a little bit lower, not too high. Segment also, I don't want too much to be there. And width type, I will keep it width. Okay, not offset. This much I think is fine. Angle, I think limit method, I think I will, let me check with the none right now. Let's see. Let me apply 0.005. This looks good. Okay. 0.03, because I don't want a lot. So I will see which one is good. So I will apply 4 segments at least, like with 0.003 amount of width and 4 segments. And after this, let's go back to the angle, go to geometry, and the mid outer I will convert to arc, so I will not have that pinching effect here. Okay. So once you are done with this, you can also go to the shading option and turn on the hard shading. Okay. Like here, you will see that it will apply the hard shading. So go to the shading and make sure the hard and normals is selected. Now I will apply right click, shade auto smooth, so it will become more smoother. Now it looks fine. Okay. Now what we want is the plastic part which is inside the USB. So I will go right click, shift A, and choose the mesh cube, and I will resize it so it will fit inside my like the USB head. So let me just resize it. So once we are done, we can put it inside. So I will just make it this small. And put this down. Push it a little bit forward and then backward maybe later on. Like it's all trial and error. You can like keep on moving back and forth just to see where it looks good. I will just increase the size of it. So I will try to put it up, because usually if you will see in the USB head, it is where you have the cut. Okay, so I put it there. Now I will turn it around. Okay, R, Y, and 180. So that's the shortcut to rotate it on Y axis to 180 degrees. So RY 180, it is rotated now. So let's see if everything's fine. Yeah, okay. So let me apply like a bevel modifier on this one as well, so that it becomes bevel to like this much amount. Okay. And okay, one more thing I forgot here. You have to go to the object, apply the scale or all transform, otherwise your bevel will be stretched. So now I will go to modifier and apply the bevel. So you have to keep that in mind, otherwise it will be stretched. So I will reduce the bevel, not too much, and 3, I think, segments are fine for it. So let's see where we can put this. I think we should move it a little bit back. That this much is fine, I guess. So I will add one more cube here to make, that placeholder or the folder or like a connector, which is on the which connects the USB head to the USB chip. So that we are going to make here. So just the regular like the plastic piece. Okay. So I will put it here somewhere and I will scale it. So this should not be too big. I think this is fine. So what we are going to do is that instead of let me do one thing. Let me first subdivide it. And this, what I will do is that I will make a microchip now instead of the connector. First, let's make the microchip. So once the microchip is ready, then I can make the USB connector plastic piece. So I will make the microchip now. So for what I will do is that I will put a cylinder over here. So let me tell you, I have not done anything on this cube except for just resizing it. And now I'm adding cylinders here to make a Boolean holes on the sides. So here I will put one cylinder and then on the top I will put the other one. You can use the array to make the cylinder on the right and perfect side, but let's do this more quickly. So I will select these cylinder. Okay, first of all, I will take this microchip, go to the add modifier, generate and Boolean, choose difference, take the picker and choose your first cylinder. Now it is applied, so I have to make it permanent. So I will go to my Boolean option here. Okay, and then I will apply the Boolean effect here. Once it is applied, I will delete the cylinder. Now I will repeat it, take the microchip, generate Boolean, take the other cylinder, okay, and then apply and then delete the cylinder. So we have this cut out usually in microchip. Usually you will see that. Okay, so now I will go to the modifier, some bevel to it, not much, like a little slight bevel. Okay. So because as we have applied the Boolean, so whenever you apply Boolean, you have chances of having thinner edges. So I will choose the meter out arc and then harden normals and shading. So now what I'm going to do, I will increase a little bit of the segments here. Clamp over, I will remove it. So I can apply my own amount here. So now I think it is fine. Right click, shade auto smooth. Okay. Now we can make that plastic connector that connects the chip with the USB head, because we have now both the chip and the USB head. Before we didn't have the chip. That's why I prefer to make the chip first and then the connector. So I have added the cube, shift a mesh and cube, and now I'm going to resize it. And it should be a connector between the USB head and the chip. So I will resize this. Okay, you must be wondering right now that why we are making microchip when it is inside the USB body. So we'll try to make a transparent USB body, like a transparent plastic, so we can have a really good, a nice, sort of effect and style. So let's resize this, and we don't have to make it really, really big. So I will try different sizes. Usually it's all trial and error. You keep on checking sizes and everything. And then once you are satisfied, you can apply it. So I will just put it here. And it's not balanced. So I have to go to the front viewport, I guess. Let's move it up first. Let's resize it. And then we will see from the front viewport if everything is fine. So let's go to the front viewport. And now we can check where it looks good. So I'm just moving it with the G key, G and C. Let's resize it. So moving and resizing. So now you can see our connector is ready here. So what I can do here is that I can apply the bevel on it as well. Generate bevel in the modifiers, and then I think we have, like, I forgot again. I have to go to the object, apply, and the all transform. Otherwise, your bevel will be stretchy. So I will go to the generate bevel. Bevel inside the modifier, generate bevel, and then we have the bevel. It's too much, so I will reduce its amount and keep it angled. Geometry, okay. Meter outer is arc, that's fine. Segment, I will increase a little bit more. And shape, let's see. No, I'll keep the same as what it was before. Angle also, I will keep it the same as it was before. You can, like, you can experiment with these like settings. So I think my bevel is too much, so I will reduce the bevel amount. So I will reduce the bevel amount here as well. That's what we have at this point. Now, this could be small, so later on you can make it bigger, so it looks much more better. So I will duplicate this one, Shift D, and put it somewhere next to it. Why? Because this new one will be the body of the USB. So I will go to the object, set origin, like origin to geometry. So if I scale it, it scales on the object's geometry. So I will remove all the modifiers from it because we just want to create first, then we can apply. I will resize this. Okay. So a good size that suits the body of the USB. So I will scale it on Z-axis. And I will just move it on Y-axis. Okay, now in the object mode, I will make sure I have applied all the transforms on it so that if I bevel it, it doesn't look bad. Let's see from all the sides of it, everything is good. Okay, so I will select all of it, this part, okay, so that I can move all of them like together. So I will move it a little bit forward because what I felt was that the USB head was too long. So now it looks good from inside as well. So I will hide the USB head so I can work on the USB body. So I will take the USB body and go to the edit mode, and you can see I have already added like a loop cut in the middle. So I will select these two edges from here, Control B, apply some segments with the scroll wheel. So we have this nice shape over there. And I will take these faces from here and I will try to do an interesting shape. I will go to the extrude along normals, extrude it outwards. Not that much, a little bit. Okay, so now what I can do is that I can scale this on x-axis, S and X, on Z-axis, S and Z, and now S and Y. on y-axis. Before I reduce the size on z-axis, now I'm reducing the size on the y-axis. Now I can move it on the y-axis to give this sort of a feeling, if you can see that, like a chamfered edge. But these chamfer edges have some sharp edges. So what I will do is that I will take all these sharp edges with the Alt and Shift, so I can select multiple edge loops from all the sides. Now these are sharp edges. So I will press Ctrl B to make them curved. Okay, now like they look fine. So now I will take these edges also and with the Control B, I will make them also little curved, but not curved as they were from they are from the backside. Okay, so with the my faces, I can select these two faces from the front side, and I will press X on the keyboard and delete the faces. So this will give us empty, hollow body, but paper thin. So I will select the first top of the body in the edit mode, in X-ray mode, so the whole thing is selected. Now I will come out of the edit mode, and once I'm outside the edit mode, sorry, the X-ray mode, so I will now press P and separate it with with the selection. So they both are like separated. So this is separated one, and this is also separated. Why? So we can have like a panel line in between them, so they will look exactly like they were top and bottom. So I will apply like I will put the origins on the object, set origin to the object. So if I want to resize them or move them, I can move from the origin. So now I will rename all of them. So this will be USB metal. And this part, let me hide whatever I'm renaming so I know what is left. So this one, it will be USB plastic. I'll hide this. This one will be USB chip. And this one will rename to USB. Let me think. What should we name? USB holder. Okay. Connector holder. And this will be the USB top part. So I will name it USB top plastic. And this one, I will rename it to USB bottom plastic. Okay, so I will hide the holder and I will unhide the top plastic and the bottom plastic and the USB chip, because we have to give it some like thickness because it is paper thin as I deleted the faces. So I will apply solidify modifier on it just like I did for the USB head. And now I will apply the thickness, but inside, not too much. Okay, so now I will add 2 cylinders. So that will be, like the common like connector parts in the body that connects the bottom part to the top part. So that's we are going to make here. So I will reduce the size of it so it will match the cutouts we made earlier on the chip. So I will resize it so it fits. Okay. So I'll go to the X-ray mode now. Or let's take this one. This is the carving tool. You can turn this on by going to the edit preferences and that get extension. And then here you can choose bool tool in the add-ons bool tool, and you can enable it. So once you enable it, you will see these options there. It's in the object mode. So it will only appear in the object mode. So I will select this and trim this part, just like you have seen it. Simply I did that. Now, I just want to scale it down so it fits inside. Just like this. Just try to put it next to the body so it looks like it is part of it. So I will scale it on the Z-axis. Okay, so now I will go to the object, set origin to geometry, so I can easily move it from here. So Shift D to duplicate it, and on the X-axis by pressing X, I can move it on the X-axis, and I will rotate it from there. So R180, RZ180, so it will rotate on 180 degree on the Z-axis. Now I will try to put it where it is in the center of the cutouts. Okay. Now it is not in the center basically. So we can move it in the center. But let's do one thing here. Let's open the top plastic and then we can do that. Now I will apply the same geometry node, on like solidify node on the USB top plastic, and I will give the same value. Okay. 0.0035. I think it is less. I think it is 0.35. Yeah. Let's check. Yeah, it is 0.035, not 0.0035. 0.035. That's all. Okay, so now I will take these, and what I'm going to do, I will duplicate these, Shift D, and move the duplicated copy upwards. Okay, now I will hide the others, only keep this one, because I want to Boolean this one. So Shift A, Mesh, Cylinder, scale it down. Press G, move it here somewhere. And with the S and Z, I can make it bigger. And Shift D, duplicate it to the other side on X-axis. Let's move it in the center. By the way, it's not balanced like the more like the design because I'm doing it fast, so I can cover it in in a little time. Now I will apply the Boolean modifier on it, the union one. So I will choose the union and apply this and then delete this one. Union will join these two together. I will do it here as well. I will take the bottom one, general Boolean, and I have to choose union because union unites, and select this and apply on it, and the original one we can delete it. Okay. Now I will go to generate Boolean difference and take the cylinder. Now I will press apply. Okay, now I can delete this. Same thing, I will do it there. Okay, apply it and delete this. So now I have a good understanding here for the top and bottom connection. You can apply bevel modifier on these, like these cylinders as well. But as they're inside, I'm not creating those. So I will unhide the chip as well and other stuff. So I will rename those cylinders that we made inner support left and inner support right. Inner support L and inner support. So our first body is ready. So let's save this. So what I will do now is that I will make a collection here, select all these and press M, create new collection body. So all the body parts will go inside the body. Okay. So I can hide this whole folder as well. So now we can make another body. So we can have a variety of bodies, and you can also learn how we can make different kind of bodies. So one is done, body one is done. So now we will make body two. So I have added a new cube here. So let's work on this cube as well. So this size, something like this. So now you already know, how to move, how to scale. So I don't want to repeat everything. You can just see that what I'm doing. I'm just scaling it and I'm just moving it, or sometimes rotating it. So you already know that. I will just show it to you how I'm doing it. So easily you can do that. And plus you can see the shortcuts, which is appearing on the top right side. So I will just make this kind of a weird shape, hide everything except for this. I will apply the scale on it. The reason I made it this rectangular, asymmetrical rectangular, so I can have an interesting shape on it. So I will take these edges, the corner edges on the sides. From these two sides, I will make it more curved, just like this with this segments. And I will take these upper and bottom edges and make them curved and this shape. So you can see I have now a pretty interesting shape here. So I want to select these edges. So I will press 2 on the keyboard to go to the edges mode, and I will select only these edges, nothing in the middle. So I think one of the middle is selected. I think, yeah, here I have to select this. Okay. Deselect the one that I don't want. I don't want this. I will deselect this one, not this one. Okay, there's one more here. I don't want this. And I don't want this. So with the shift key, I have deselected the one I don't want. And these, the one I will control B press, I will press it and then bevel it, but not too much. So you can see that a pretty interesting face is being created here. So now what I will do, I will go to the X-ray mode. Okay, and select like the spine of this, the side spine of this body, and upper and bottom body, and then I will inset it with the eye. So I have inserted this with the I key, and I will extrude along normals this part outwards this much. And I will scale it a bit so it will give us like an interesting shape. So I'm scaling it with the S key on Y-axis and Z-axis, and try to well, Y and X-axis. Now I will try to move it on the X-axis. So it will give a slanted like feeling on the top. Okay, now I will select these all edge loops with Alt Shift here as well. Here as well. Okay. Now I can press Ctrl B to bevel this, but not too much, a little bit. So pretty interesting shape. You can see that. I will apply right-click shade auto smooth so it looks smoother. Now what I will do is that I will unhide all these. And this one, it's a one cube. I will try to like, yeah, now I will try to let me like balance it with the connector. And what I will do here is that I don't like the shape of this connector. Okay, so like this holder, whatever it is. So I will hide that. I will put that in the body one folder, and I will make a new one. The old one I have put it in the body one folder, which is already hidden. So it got hidden. And now I have added another cube, and I will resize this cube to match approximately the same size of what we had before for the connector of USB body one. Now I will put it here. Scale it. Okay. And now scale it on the Y-axis so it doesn't look thick. I will move it back. Now, what I will do is that I will apply the scale on it from Object, Apply Scale. I will go to the Edit mode, and I will select this edge and Control B to bevel it so it will match the bevel of the body. That's why we made it new one, so it matches. I will take this one. Okay, Control B. So again, this matches the body of the USB. So that's why we made this connector, new holder or connector, whatever you want to say it. So what I will do is that I will select all the edges, Alt Shift, and then other one. And the one that I don't want, I will deselect it. Like suppose here, this one, I don't want it. I want the top one. I want this one. Okay, I don't want this. I don't want this. And rest, I think it's fine. Now I will apply I will apply bevel, Control B, so it will become a little softer. Now I think this is ready. I will unhide the body here. So this body is now ready. So we will work on the another body. So this one we will make like this. We will make it as a metal USB body. So I will rename it to metal USB body. The one before was the transparent or plastic because that's what my plan is. So I know. So these two, I will put them into new collection. Press M, new collection. Name the collection. Automatically, it will be moved inside the collection. Okay. So now our second body is also ready. So what I will do, I will hide all inside and I will make a new one. Shift A, mesh, cube, a new body. At least 3 bodies. So I will scale it approximately to match the size of the USB head. Okay. A little longer. So I will scale it till it matches. So I'm just scaling, moving till I get the right size I'm looking for. Now I will duplicate it, Shift D, so that the first one can be the USB holder or connector, whatever you want to say it. And the one which I just duplicated will be the body. So I will resize it as well. You'll see in the end what my plan is. Basically, it's better to draw it on the paper, but what I'm doing right now is that without any sort of drawing, which is not that recommended way of doing it, but let's do it for the sake of this tutorial. So I will take this one and scale it more, pretty much more. Yeah. Okay. So now I will take this one, the body, and I will duplicate this. The reason I will duplicate it, you will see. Okay. So first let's apply the scale to it. Geometry apply scale. And let's first reshape it. I will take these edges from these sides and bevel it with this much segments. Okay. So this is what I was looking for. So I will take these only. I will deselect the one which selected, and now I will select these with the Alt Shift and then Control B to bevel these edges. So you can see that I beveled these as well. So nothing should be sharp edges, otherwise it will not look realistic. So I applied this on it. Now what I was saying, like Shift D and duplicate it. So the reason is that my design is basically a cover over cover, like a body over body. And you will see in the end, what do I mean? So I will resize it bigger than the original body. Usually the bevel of the outer body should be more on the sides, but for the sake of this tutorial, we'll keep it as it is. So now I will make a cube for the Boolean operation. So I will take this cube, make it bigger. And I will scale it. And with the edit mode, I will take the side edges and bevel them. So it will look like this. And I will go outside this mode, take these, take the original one, the outside body one, and then Boolean, take the difference, and then take that box that we just made. And I will apply on it. So I will take this and delete it. You can keep it non-destructive. You don't have to delete those, just hide those, but I have removed it because I don't need the other parts. Now what I will do is that I want to bevel these sharp edges. So I will go to select sharp edges, choose the sharp edges. All the sharp edges will be selected. Okay. And then Control B to bevel it. Okay. So that's what I have now. And I will do with this connector or holder, apply the scale on this connector holder. And then edit mode by pressing tab, select these. And then Control B. Just like this. Not that much. Otherwise it will look bad. A little bit more of the segments. So now I hope you have understood why I was duplicating the top part. So now you can see that it is a body over body. So I will apply the bevel on the sides of this connector also. Okay. So nothing should be sharp edge on your object. Otherwise it will not look realistic. So you can see that clearly we are done with this part also. So 3 different type of bodies we have. So I will hide these so that I can take this one, the inner body one, and X in the edit mode. I will press X, and the front and the back face I will delete it. The reason is that because I just don't need those. I just need a thickness here because if I will make it a glass, so it will look good. So I have applied solidify modifier on it. And with the even thickness on, I will apply thickness inside. Okay. And then now I can unhide these. So the thickness is important. Otherwise the glass will not look realistic. I will go back to all the bodies here. Take the chip. Okay, and inner support and everything, duplicate it with the Shift D. Okay, it is hidden, so I have to unhide it first. Okay, I don't know from where this I got this. I'll delete that one. Now what I want here is that I just want a USB holder and the chip. So I will select these, Shift D, duplicate it, right click on the mouse, and then take the duplicated copy and put it outwards. And I will hide all these. Okay. Now you can see that this is how it will look like inside. Okay, so the other outer cube or like outer body and the connector body, I will unhide it and I'll keep on renaming them. So this will be the plastic, like solid plastic holder for the USB. And this will be the outer body, I guess. Outer or inner? Yeah, this is inner. So I will go here and type here, transparent plastic. I'm giving you some spoilers. Okay, then I will go to the other one. This is the outer one. This will be plastic shell. Okay. Everything else is okay. So press M on the keyboard, new collection, and make a new collection. It will move inside that collection. I will call it body 3. So now I can hide it. Okay. So I will show all inside from each one and close the and shut down the eye. Okay. From the outliner instead of right clicking every time. Otherwise it will take forever. So this one also, and for this is fine. So now whenever I want to see, I will just have to toggle the eye on and off. So I will save this. Okay. So now as we have the model ready, so we'll start with texturing and creating materials. So first we will go to the UV editing so we can apply the UV maps on it. I will select all of this, and like the USB head, you can see it's already mapped out of the box. So we don't have to do any kind of UV mapping on it. So let's go to some other objects and let's see. What do we have? Okay, the inner part, this is also unwrapped, so we don't have to do any unwrapping on this one as well, because right off the box, it's unwrapped. Now, let's go to each one of these parts. First of all, the body one. Let's see if this part is mapped or not. So first of all, you can see that there is a gap there. So what I will do here is that I will try to make it this USB connector or USB holder a little bit bigger, or the solidify of this bottom plastic and lower plastic for temporarily, I will make it like more like thinner. So the bottom one, I will make it around 0.01. And for the top one as well, I'll do that. But later on, I'll change it. So now I will take this USB head connector, or you can say the USB holder. I will push it back. And I'll try to resize it. First of all, let's set the origin to the geometry so I can easily resize it on the y-axis, S and Y. And I will push it back. So now the length is fine. So let's make it a little bigger. So I will go to the front view of it, and then I will scale it on the x-axis. Okay. Then a bit on the y-axis. Oops. Let's do again. So I'll just take this one, scale it on x-axis from here. And once I have these properties, I will do from here. And z-axis from here as well. Okay. So now later on, I can increase the thickness of the upper USB plastic and the bottom plastic, the top plastic and the bottom plastic after this. Because otherwise the glass, if I will make this transparent, this top plastic and the bottom plastic, it will not look good. So I have to add a little bit thickness to it. But for now, I will just keep it as it is. Now I will take this USB holder and go to the UV editing to see the unwrapping. So unwrapping is good. So I'll take this one, the top plastic, bottom plastic. I'll go to the edit mode to see and select all. And here, I think I need some unwrapping. So I will press U, Smart UV Project. I will change the angle limit to 90. Unwrap. Now it's better. Okay, I will go to the bottom one. Edit mode. Press A, Smart UV Project. Unwrap. Okay. By the way, you can take these single islands and unwrap them again if you want, but I'll keep it as it is to make it more flatter, basically. So this is done. And now it's this microchip part, the USB chip part, edit mode, select all. And this is already unwrapped, but these two parts I have to move it. I will press L on the key. First, let's take like my press L, hover over here, press L and move it to the other side. Then press deselect everything. Oops. Deselect everything, then hover L and then move it here with the G. So this is how you can select individual part. Like you just have to hover and press L. So now it is fine. I will take these inner support left and right. Now here I have to do a bit of the work because everything is fine, but they are just overlapping. I have to just move these out of the picture by hovering over these islands, pressing L on the keyboard. Okay. Oops. Deselect. Hover here, press L on the keyboard, and then G, and then move it. So I have this one here. I will bring the others. Okay, let's move this one here. Over here. Okay, let's deselect. Okay, over here, L. Move this back here. Okay, now over this one, press L on the keyboard, G, and move it here. Now this, I will resize it by selecting all, press S on the keyboard to scale it. And put it here. These, first deselect, then hover over these L, rotate it, move it down. Okay. Here, this one as well, over L, rotate, move it down. Okay. To rotate, you can press R and 180 and type 180, it will rotate at 180. So now it looks fine. So I will do exactly the same thing to the other one. I will come out of my edit mode, go to the object mode, take this one, go to edit mode again, and do this exactly same thing here. Okay. So I have to select all these first. Okay. Oops, it's not right. So I have to take them one by one. But first, let's move this one over here. Press L, move it here. Deselect everything. Oops, deselect everything. L, move it here with the G. Then deselect. Over here, L, then G, move it here. Then again, hover L and G and press it here. Now, same thing. Select it all, press S on the keyboard to make it smaller. Put it here. And these also. Select R 180, G, move it here. Deselect. Over L, R 180, then G, and move it here. So done. So now we are done with this also. So we'll go out of the edit mode. We'll come to the object mode. Everything is perfectly unwrapped here. Now I will go back to my shading mode here. So now what I will do is that I will start applying shade here. So first, the USB head, I will make a new material here and rename this material to something like USB metal, because the object name is USB metal, so same name here. I will increase the metalness to 1. Roughness, not that much. Okay. Now the bottom part, this will be USB plastic. So I will name it USB plastic. This one should be dark color. So I will choose the color, blackish sort of color, not 100% black, but a bit of a black, like a dark gray, you can say that. Okay. So What I will do here is that I will add a noise texture on it. I will make it a little bumpy, like bumpy plastic. So first I will apply the noise texture and I will connect it to the surface to see how the noise texture is. So the vector size scale of the voice noise, I will make it 800. Okay. Just there is like it's not that. All right. So I will select this one. Okay. First of all, I have to make sure in the preferences, edit preferences, my node wrangler is on. So it's not on. I will go turn on the node wrangler, go to these mega menu icon and save preferences. Okay, now node wrangler is on. So I will select this one. Okay, and press Control Shift and T. Okay, oh, wait. It's Control Shift, Control T, and I have to press here. Okay, first of all, let's see if this is fine. Okay, now Control T and then click on it, and then you can see you have all these maps attached to it. So here we have to do some changes. So let's see this one. If I with the X scale, I will make it 10. So it will be too small. So it's all trial and error. So whatever you feel like, it's all uniform. So you have to choose that. I just need a noise texture on it balanced. So this one, 3, let's make this 25, this one, 25. Yeah, I think it's fine. So I will connect this one back to principal BSDF back to surface, and the color node will go to a new node. So what I will do here is that Shift A, I will go to the color, choose hue and saturation, and the color of noise texture goes to the color of hue, saturation, and value. And now what I'm going to do here is that I will make a new node, Shift A, then vector, then bump. And the color will go to the height of the bump, and the bump will go to the normal. Let it load. It takes a little time to load. Yeah, now it is loaded. So you can see it is quite bumpy. So maybe I can reduce the strength of it, but let's keep it here. So I will take this USB connector part, the USB plastic part, whatever, the holder, and I will choose the same material on it. Okay, so in the list, you have seen the USB plastic, the one that I'm just made. I can apply over here. So here the strength, also, as I said, we have to reduce it to 0.1. So now I think it's fine. Plus, I will right click here and shade auto smooth so it will look more smoother. This one also, right click, shade auto smooth. Okay, so our metal and plastic is done. Now I will take this top plastic and hide it, and the bottom plastic and hide it. I will start with this one. Okay, like the with the chip. Let's start with the chip. So I will take the chip. I will press new material and I will call this chip. Now I have already downloaded the files from the ambient CG. So I will give you, and you can find it in the description. So in the ambient CG, I have typed here chip, and I have these chip files, which I have already downloaded. This is the one I will be using, or this one, but I think the green one is much more better. So what I will do, I will select this one, press Control T. Okay. Sorry, not Control T, Control Shift T, I guess. Let's remove this one. Okay. Control C, move it. Like select this one, then Control Shift and T. And now I have to go to that chip file, the one that I downloaded, this one. And I have to make sure that I'm selecting the right one. Yeah, this is the one. So I will select the color file and the normal GL, like OpenGL, because Blender works with OpenGL, and the other files, the metallic, the roughness, and the displacement, and principled BSDF. And then it will automatically connect to it because of the node wrangler. So this looks good, pretty good. it is just stretched. So we can go to the map, like the mapping vector node, and fix it. Okay, so I will go here and just make it a little smaller so it will be spread it out. Something like this kind of a setting, I will do it. Okay, now this side, I don't want it to be with the microchip like material. I just want a simple white material on the sides. So don't worry about the side right now at this point. So I will go back to material here, properties, and I will add one more slot by pressing plus, then new. Then here I will rename this one to chip sides. Okay. And after this, I will do some changes here. I will go back to the chip. Okay. And then I have to go to the edit mode and I have to select the sides. Now to select the sides, the best way is that in the edit mode, you can select the top part. Okay. This one with the shift key, the one that is left. Okay, why it's not selecting? Okay, I'm in the edge mode. I'm supposed to be in the face mode. That's why it's not selecting. So anyhow, so let's go to face mode and then select this. Okay. So now I will select all at the bottom as well. Okay, now I will press Control I. So it will deselect the one I selected and select the one which I wanted. And I will go to the chip sides and assign it. So I will have sides with the white color. Okay, so top bottom is the chip and sides are the white color. Now I will hide this one and I will go to the plastics. So I will take this plastic. Let's start with the bottom plastic, or I think better is to start with these because these are the small parts. So I will take this one first, press new and type here transparent plastic. Okay. And then what I will do here is that I will go to the render. I will go to the ray tracing. I will turn on the ray tracing so at least I can see the glass, because in the glass material is quite like works nicely in the EV Next in 4.2 version. So now I will make a plastic like a new transparent plastic material here. So I will just go on the side, take this principal PSDF and I will delete this one because I don't need it. I will make custom made one. I'll press shift and then A, and I will add like a shader, the glass shader, glass PSDF. I will put it here. Okay. Then the glass, like plastic IOR, index of refraction is around 1.2. So I will create that and I will connect it to the surface just to see how, like, does it look? Okay. It will take some time to load. Let's see. Okay, now it's loaded. Okay. So now I will press Shift A, shader and glossy BSDF because we have to add some glossiness here. So first of all, I will connect it to the surface to just see how the glossiness is. So 0.2, quite glossy. Okay, that's fine. Looks good. And now I have to mix these two. So what I will do, I will press Shift A, shader, mix shader. Okay, the glass will go on the top and the glossy will go on the bottom. And I will connect it to the surface just to see the result, how it looks like. Let it load. Okay, now it's loaded. Yeah, looks kind of good. Okay, now I will search for the material, Shift A, search for the layer weight. So layer weight, I got it. And I will take the Fresnel from the layer weight and connect it to the surface just to see how the Fresnel is. Its a value was higher, so let's make it 0.32. This will act like a good masking factor. What I will do, I will take the shader of mix shader, connect back to surface, and take the Fresnel and connect to the factor. So it will only apply like, on the Fresnel, like the glossy on the Fresnel area. Okay, so I guess now it looks fine. I will make another, like I will add another like mix shader here because I have to add this top mix shader to it and a new glossy material. So Shift A shader, glossy material. So I will reduce the roughness of this, take the mix shader, connect on the top, and glossy BSDF connected on the bottom. Okay, now it looks good. Okay. Now what I will do here is that first of all, I have to make sure the settings are all right here and transparent plastic material that we are creating. In the surface, in the settings, I will change it to, I will keep it to sphere because it is roundish. Okay. So I will keep it roundish. And the one that are flat, like top and bottom, that you can also keep sphere, but you can keep it as a slab also. Okay. So I just like kept it sphere because it is roundish and you can see through it. You can see everything through it, which is right. It's all depends on the angle of the camera. Now we'll take the color of this and make it a little bit reddish, sort of a color. A red transparent plastic will look cool. I will take the another one. I will go to the material. Oops, I don't want to create a material. I want to add its existing material. So select this, go to this object and the part, option, and then transparent plastic, the same one. Now I will take this materials, transparent plastic on this as well. Okay. And I will take the top and I will convert this into a transparent plastic as well. Okay, looks cool. So I will unhide the chip and you can see the chip is showing inside, but we have to make sure that we can go to the layout and go to the rendering, play with the light to actually see the chip inside. Okay. So I will increase the power of the light here just to see. Yeah, now you can see that. The transparency of it. You just have to put the light inside. Okay. So I will just remove the light from here. And I will go to the cycle just to see the result in the cycles. Usually the glass looks more good, more perfect in the cycles, not in the EV, or even in the EV Next, it doesn't look that good. So just a bit of a setting, I will check here. So it's all about, trial and error. So when you have a right result, good result, you can stop at that part. Okay, now I can go to the shading. And a few changes we can do in the shading. Okay, my computer is a little lagging because I'm in the cycles mode now. So what I will do here is that the factor of the mix shader of the plastic, this has to be 0.008 to make it transparent. Now it looks transparent. Before there was an issue. So now if you can go to the edit, preferences, add-on, and here I will give you a stamp master. You can download from the description. It's a decal applying add-on. And now we can apply the decal here. So you can find it in the description, the link for it. It's my own, but I will give it to you to use it. So Control, Shift, and D if you press, D for dog, and you will, whatever PNG decal you will choose, You just have to click on your surface of your object and it will apply there. Okay, so let's do again just to show you. I will select the top plastic first of all. Okay, let's do again. So I will select the top plastic part, Control Shift D. I want this decal PNG file and select it and choose where I want and click. And then I have to choose the rotation of it. So this is how I want it to rotate. If with the control, you can snap it, control key on the keyboard, you can snap it, or command key, and find the sweet spot and then just click on your mouse left button. Okay. And then you can move it also afterwards. So you can see that nicely it has applied. If we will go back to our shading mode, you can see how it is. And if I will go to the top plastic, you can see in the shader, it is there, but in the bottom, it's not there. So in the top, it is there. And you will notice there is blend. Now, if I decrease the blend, it will blend the decal that we applied with it. Okay, so decal is a good, like a plugin. It is paid plugin, but I have my own copy, which you can use. I bought it. It's only $7. It's better. You can go to you can search the Stamp Master and you can buy it. But I'm giving you, if you cannot afford, I can give you my copy, which you can find in the description. Okay, so what I will do, I will go to my top plastic, make it like auto smooth, shade auto smooth, and bottom also shade auto smooth, so they will look more smoother. I will hide these and I will take these also and make them shade auto smooth as well, so that they will look smoother. I will unhide this back. Okay, so pretty good. You can see through it. It looks very good. Looks very plasticky. Okay, so one more thing we can do here is that if you will go to the layout mode and you are in the rendering mode, we can apply another sticker on the bottom. So I will select the bottom part, Control Shift D, and choose Made in China file and click anywhere here. Then start rotating it. Okay. After applying after left clicking and applying it, you can still move it. Okay. This is up to you where you want, and you can see that. And I can, reduce the blend of it. So to make it more blended with the background. So it looks good. Okay. So our first material is done. So that's pretty much it for the first material. I will take this USB head and try to give it a brushed metal feeling. It looks very flat. So what I'm going to do, I will select this metal like a USB head, Shift A, and then texture, and then noise texture. So I will apply this noise texture with Control Shift and click on it so that I can temporarily see it. I can start changing these values to what I'm looking for. Okay, so scale, maybe I will reduce it till 10. Okay, that's fine. And then Control T and click on this. So it will give me the mapping and the texture coordinate. So make sure if you want these shortcuts, you have to turn on Node Wrangler. Now I will change the X scale, also the Y scale. So it gives these kind of straight lines, which is good for the brushed metal feeling. So this much is fine, I guess. We can add some distortion there so it blends. Otherwise, it will look very mechanical. Okay, this detail also. You can do some. All this is trial and error. Okay, once you are done, what we can do is that I will connect the principal BSD with Control Shift again to the surface. Now I will press Shift A, color and hue saturation, take the factor, put the factor inside the color and take the color. First Shift A and vector and bump map. And the color will go to the height of the bump map, just like what we did before. And the normal will go to the normal. And you can see that we got the result right away, but it is too strong because of the strength. So bump strength 0.1 or maybe lower than that. Okay. But it has to be a little slight, not too much. So now it is 0.05. You can keep on checking the values, see what suits, what looks good, what doesn't look good. So it's totally up to you. So I'm constantly changing the values just to see what looks good. If you find this boring or lengthy, you can fast forward it. Or if you want to see the process, because it takes time, you cannot do it right away. Right from the bat, you cannot do it. So you have to do these kind of fine tweakings to get a good result out of it. Okay. So all the files that you will find in this lesson is the link you will find in the description below. All the add-ons, all the files, HDRI files, or the maps, the materials, even the Blender file I have included in that. So just I'm doing some changes here, and I will keep on more like checking this. So you can see this, or you can fast forward it. Okay, so this is what I have so far. So I will go to the materials, roughness. I'm in the render node here. The strength, I will keep it 0.01 because here you can see much better. So 0.05 was even more stronger. So I will go here and change it to 0.01. So now it looks much better. Okay, now we can go back to shading. Just a hint of the brush metal, you can see that. We don't want that to be too harsh, otherwise it will look very unrealistic. So what I will do is here is that I will just take these decals, which I got it from the Stamp Master add-on, and I will put these all in the body one. So I have these 2 decals and 2 empty for the decals. So if you will select the decal there, and if you want to move it, you can move it later on afterwards also. But if you will duplicate this object where you have applied it and move that duplicated object, then it will not work because it doesn't work on the duplicated one. So you have to reapply on the duplicated object basically. So I can change like few of the decals. Like suppose this one, I don't want it to be sideways. I just want it to be here. So I will just rotate it and put it here. So I have put everything inside the body folder. Now I will unhide the body 2 and okay, yeah. So let's work on the body 2 here. So I will just first take this one, the USB like connector or holder, and then Smart UV project here with 90 and Smart UV project. Okay. Now I will go to the shading. And then I will apply the USB plastic, the same one from the list which I applied before. So it should be fine. Now I will take this one, and this has to be dual tone. So first material, I will call this, I will make a new material on this and I will call this matte metal. Okay, so matte USB metal, I'll just do it. Okay. And then what I will do here is that I will make it metallic. Okay. Roughness, I can reduce a little bit, not too much, because I want it to be a bit rough. I don't want it to be glossy. So I will keep it to a 0.2. So even in 0.2, you will see that it is rough. So I will add a new slot. You can see I have made a new slot. Press the new button, and this new slot, new material in the new slot, I will name it glossy USB metal. So this will be glossy. And here, what I will do is that I will go to the edit mode, and I want to select the sides. So to select the sides, first I will select this spine of the USB and then this top and bottom. And I will press on the num keypad Control plus and keep on growing the selection till it reaches to this point. Then I will press Control I to inverse my selection. Okay. Once this is selected, I'll go to glossy USB metal body and assign it. So this is how you assign the multiple materials. I have already explained this to you. And now here I will create a metal very rough. So metal 1, roughness 0. So this kind of looks like duotone metal. The top and bottom is the matte and the sides are the glossy one. So this kind of looks like very cool. So here also with the stamp master, I will add Control-Shift-D and choose this black PNG file. Put it here. This is this is like, mirror. So no worries. I will just apply it and then I will scale it to the negative direction. So if you press Control, it will snap. Okay. So I'm kind of struggling because I cannot find the right. Yeah, now it's fine. Okay. Just here, click, left click. Okay. And then just click again to apply it. And then what I can do is that keep this decal selected. And after, if you will press S on the keyboard to scale it, and then X for the direction, and then minus 1. Okay. And then you can see that I press -1 and it will be flipped. So now I can scale it, S, make it smaller and put it wherever you want. Okay. So this stick looks sick. I will go to the metal body and I will try to play with the blend. But blend with the black color doesn't look that good. Let's see. It kind of looks like oldish. With the white, it looks good. Natural. But with the black, it doesn't look that good, but it's okay. But plus, you can see also like a white halo effect around the text, which we will fix it also later on. But let's see if everything else is fine here. Just not too much. And if you will go down, you can see that it is spreading down. Okay, so we have to reduce the spread. So this decal is automatically created, this node, whenever you add a decal master. Okay, now I can move it a little bit up, not too much, this decal, so that it won't project down. Okay, otherwise if it will project down, it will not look that good. Now down here, I will add that made in China sticker, Control-Shift-D, back to PNG. Click it here. This is also flipped, so no worries, we will fix it. And then apply it first. Yep, this much I think is fine. So again, I will press S, X, and then -1. So it will be flipped. That's cool. Then scale it down as much you want. And you have the second decal there in the shader viewport. You can see that. You can reduce the blend of it. Okay, pretty cool. So here spreading is coming from the bottom to top. So that's why I have to increase this. So like I have to decrease the spreading of the Made in China sticker as well, because it sometimes overlaps, like it appears from bottom to top. Now here you can see a clear white halo or white border around my USB sticker. So that we can easily fix it. So to fix it, we have to go inside the decal node. Okay, so basically what we need to do here is that let's zoom in just to see if the effect is showing. So I can go here to the layout back. I'm in the like render viewport. I will just move this up the timeline, go to this timeline property, choose shader editor. So we can see the result up there. I will go to this node. I will click on this node here. And then I have to find my texture. So here is on the top texture, alpha. I will choose it pre-multiplied. I will choose the pre-multiplied, and then you can see that white border thing is gone. So that's how you can fix this as well. Okay. So when you are done with this, you can do for the bottom one also. Let's press this arrow to go back here. Okay, now the bottom one is the same thing here. I will click on this nodes. Inside the nodes, you will find the back file. Colors, alpha, pre-multiplied, same thing. Okay. And then you can come out of this by pressing this arrow. Okay. So this stick looks sick now. Okay. So you can do a couple more changes if you want. Like there is no hard and fast rule. There is no right and wrong. Whatever you feel looks good, you stop there. But it should look realistic. So now these decals, the new ones are out here. I have to move them inside the body 2 folder. Select them all, move it inside the body 2 folder, hide the body 2, unhide the body 3. And we will work on the body 3 as well now. So what I will do, I will go to each one of these parts and unwrap them. First, let's hide the one that we don't want it right now so that we can one by one unwrap the objects. So first of all, I will take this one, UV editing, automatically in the edit mode, select all by pressing A, and then you can see it is already unwrapped. We don't need to do unwrapping. So we'll go back to the shader node. And then here, I will choose in the list USB plastic, the same one that we used before. We can use it on here as well. So I will right click on this and shade auto smooth so it will become more smoother. Okay, so I will hide this solid plastic, and then I will choose the USB chip. Now USB chip is already created. So I will just go to the list and choose the chip on the top. Okay, so chip on the top is there. Plus there is the white part of it. So I will add a new slot. Okay, in the new slot, I have to, first of all, make sure to go to the edit mode. Select everything on the top first once, and then shift and select everything on the bottom. Next, all the faces, only like I'm selecting faces, then Control I to inverse the selection, and whatever is selected, I will choose the new chip sides and assign. So the chip side is assigned on the sides also. So this looks pretty good. This is done, and now it's time for the plastic. Now these plastic, first of all, they have to be shade smooth, auto smooths. So I will just go to the materials, choose the same transparent plastic, but we will duplicate this one. So I will press this duplicate new material button, and it will duplicate it. I will rename this one to a different name. Okay, like transparent plastic blue. So bluish cyan sort of color I will make it. So done. From here, I will go to the color of the glass and change it to something like cyan or blue color. Okay. Once you're done, we'll go to the inner support one, then transparent plastic blue. And then we will go to each top and bottom plastics. So I will, sorry, we don't have top and bottom plastic. We have plastic shell, which is transparent plastic. So I will go to the transparent plastic and apply the same thing on it. So we can see that clearly here. Okay, so right click shade auto smooth on this one as well. So it will look nicer. Looks good. And once you are done with this, we can go to the surface of this in the material and change and make sure the ray trace transmission is on, sphere is on, everything else is on. So I don't have to change anything here. Everything is perfect, fine. Okay, I'm just like toggling back and forth. I'm not changing. I'm just like checking the results. So slab, it will look like this. Okay, quite flat, but I don't want it to be flat slab. I want it to be a sphere. So a sphere, more variation you will find in the sphere. Now I will take the plastic holder, turn it on, and plastic shell and turn it on. Now in the plastic shell, I will select it. So I will make a new plastic here by pressing the new and call this one matte plastic shell, something like this. And I will change the base color to dark grayish, something like this one. And then I will go to the UV editor, select all the faces, and you can see it's already unwrapped, so no worries. We don't have to worry about this. I'll go back to the shading, and here I have to apply some noise texture as a bump map on it, like what I did before. So Shift A, shader, and no, not shader, texture, and then noise texture. So let's see how this looks. So Shift Control and click on it so that we can see how's the picture of the noise. So I will take the scale of the noise, make it 500, something like that. So 800, I will change the scale to 800. So now I have pressed Control T on the noise texture so to get the texture coordinate mapping, and I will try to scale the XYZ here so that it fits on the screen. So make sure you have the stamp master and the node wrangler turned on in the edit preferences. Otherwise, you won't be able to work on it. Okay, so I have scaled it up. And yeah, the stamp masters only works on 4.2 and above. Okay, so I'll just keep on checking the values, changing this so that I can see the perfect fine result. So I think this is good. So Shift A, color, hue and saturation. Take the color, put it in the color of the hue and like the color of the noise texture. Sorry, factor of the noise texture to the color of the hue and saturation. Then Shift A, color, sorry, vector, and then bump, and take the color and put it in the height of the bump, and take the normal, put it in the normal. Okay. The colors, why the colors are not working? Okay, first of all, the strength should be 0.1. Okay, this is fine. Oops, okay, this base color is connected here. I don't want the base color. I will remove the base color, and the original base color will pop up. That's all. Right click, shade auto smooth, and now the result is appearing. So I will make it a little bit smaller, like 500 or 100 or something like that. Okay, so this takes time. This takes a couple of times. Like, you need time to adjust it. Just don't finish it. Try to finish it quickly. Take time. Okay, at least one day, half a day, for your materials and everything. And keep coming back and forth, because every time you come like, next, you find different thing. Okay, so keep coming back to your work. Okay, so this looks good, like it have a blue plastic over black plastic. So this black plastic can be dark blue plastic or any contrasting color. So now I will press Ctrl Shift D on this plastic and then choose this 32GB on it and apply this just like what we did before. So this time I have selected this transparent plastic, then Ctrl Shift D and then applied this 32GB on it. Okay, as soon as you are done, you can select your transparent plastic, go in the shader editor, and in the blend, we can reduce the blend of it. So it looks like it is actually printed on it. Okay, so now kind of looks fine. Now I will take this shell, plastic shell, Control Shift D. Oops, I pressed Shift D by mistake. Okay, Control Shift D, and then choose sticker. I think this one is, yeah, we can put it here somewhere. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, and then we can put anywhere we want. And on the bottom, you can see that there is a spreading going on. So I will go to shader editor of it and then reduce the spreading of the decal. This decal node is automatically created whenever you add decal. Okay, so we can play with the blending also and with other parts as well. Okay, now at the back on the plastic shell, what we can do is that Control Shift D and choose this Made in China in the white color and add it here. Okay. So now we can do the blending and stuff there. And then I will go to the layout here to see in the rendering, and you can see that. And I'll put this, point light inside just to see the effect, how it looks like. Yeah, it looks fine. Like, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing this to check if everything is right or not. So I will take these decals and empty and put this inside the body 3 folder, because this belongs to the body 3. Now let's hide it. Okay. And let's go to the body 1 and let's do one thing. Let's make a similar body 1 type of thing, but like a different transparent plastic. So what I will do here is that I will just go here in the cycles mode here. Okay. And I will reduce the viewport sample of the cycle to 100. Okay. 1000 I think is fine. Sorry, yeah, 100 is fine. And then I will hide this body and let's see one thing here. Is everything is fine? Just I want to check one thing if everything is working fine. Okay. Now, yeah, I just wanted to see this in the cycle. So in the cycle, it looks good. I will turn off the denoise because denoise, I don't like the denoise. Okay, I think it's better now. Okay, I will turn the timeline back to the timeline. So hide this. Again, we are back to this first stick. I have another sticker. You can use that one too, which I didn't use it. But that will look more better here. Okay, so what we can do here is that I will duplicate these USB metal and USB plastic. Okay, and I will start putting them into folder 1, folder 2, and folder 3. Okay, so we can have these for each one of it. So I can hide and unhide all of them just like this. Okay. So I duplicated the both plastic and the USB metal and put them in each folder. So now I can easily turn them on and off. Okay. Now transparency also like depends on the angle of your camera. So now what I will do, I will go back to the body 1. Okay. And I have actually duplicated this already. So I have already duplicated this. And what I will do is that in the body 1, I will change, if you remember, I told you that I will change the like the thickness back to 0.03, so it will look a little thicker rather than thin. Otherwise, it will look unrealistic if we will make it thin. Okay, I will move this slide up the top and the bottom so we can have this panel line sort of thing in between the top and bottom. Okay. I will unhide this, and you can see that I have duplicated that same thing, but I changed the color from red to something like this orangish color. And same stuff I have applied it, the solidify also, and I moved it up or down for that. Now what I will do here in the shader editor, I will start increasing the glossiness, like the roughness of the glossiness here in this glossy. Yeah, this one to around 0.5 and this glossy to 0.5, both of them. Okay. This glossy not 0.5, 0.199 or 0.2. And this glass, I will start increasing the roughness of this. What this glass roughness will do, it will make it look like a foggy plastic. Can you see that? Okay, so bottom also 0.75. Okay. And all these settings, same 0.5 roughness of the glossiness. And the other one, 0.199 or 0.2, you can do that. This one also I will make a 0.2. Okay, easier to remember. So this gives a really, really nice translucent, foggy feeling. Okay, so this, if you increase the roughness of it, it gives you very nice, like kind of result there. So we are done from the outer and body part, body part up, body part down, and you can do the same thing to the inner supports one. Okay. So what I will do here is that I will add a Shift A, add a noise texture to it. Okay. And Shift A vector bump. I will take the factor and put it in the surface just to see how it looks like and make the vector 1000 scale of it, the noise. So you can see the noise is getting, let's check normalize or unnormalize. I think with normalize it looks better. And now let's check different settings, how it looks like in the multifractal, how it looks like in the rigid. Rigid doesn't look that good. It looks like a carpet. Okay, others doesn't look that good. Okay, so control shift and click on it. Oops. Yeah, control shift and click on the decal. And this factor will go to the height. And this normal will go to the displacement. So it will give me a good bumpiness on this because it's a foggy plastic, matte plastic. So it should have this kind of effect. So I will decrease the strength of the bumpiness to 0.3, which looks kind of good. Okay. So what I can do here is that Control Shift and click on it just to do some final tweaks. Okay, Control T, and I will click on this. Okay, this will give me the mapping. Few changes here I will do. Z, I will make it a little bit bigger, not too big, not too small. Or just I'll try to look at a sweet spot. So maybe 0.1. Yeah, 0.1. Yeah, almost the same. Okay. Maybe 0.05. No, 0.5. Yeah, better. Let's make it 0.4. Okay. Now, rest of the other sides are okay. So I will take this decal and put it in the surface while I have this bumpiness as well. So I will take this bumpiness, copy it, right click, copy or Control C. Okay. And then go to the bottom one, Control V, and take the normal, put it here. Okay. It will apply on this as well. So you can see that how, like what, like pretty interesting effect it is giving. So I will just reduce the blend of it, or I think I'm on the wrong one. This is top. I was on the bottom one, I think. Okay. So now let's see one by one. This is the matte, like the glossy transparent plastic. This is the metal. Okay. Let's do some final tweaking as well. So if I will go to the metal USB or USB plastic here, let's see. Let's rotate this one, these both, the USB metal and USB plastic, other way around, like this, R, Y, and 180. So the gap that we made in the modeling on the USB head, that should appear because it should show also, at least in one of the USBs. So if you see that, you can see that gap is on the top now. So this will be like visible on this USB. Otherwise, in all the other USBs, we cannot see that. So now this is selected. And now I will go to the bottom part of this for the metal one. Okay, I can go here. This is the like glossy part. This is the matte part. In the matte part, I will try to make it a little bit more rough, but not more rough. I mean like more fine tuning. Now it looks better. Okay. And I will take this and try to do some changes here. I will copy this, the noise texture, and paste it on the matte part of the USB in the displacement. So we can have that here, the same sort of an effect, but not that obvious. I want it here, but to be very less. So the strength I should decrease it to around 0.01. So it's 0.01 or 0.1. Let's try 0.1 first. So 0.2, let's try this. Okay, if I zoom in, you can see that it is kind of working, but it has to be stretchy because it's a brushed metal. So let's do some tweaking here in the noise texture. Control Shift and click on it so we can see that clearly. So in the X, I think, no, not X, Y, I think. No, not Y. Z. Is it Z? No. Which one is it then? Let's zoom out and let's see. Yeah, I think it is Y. Yeah. Yeah, it is Y. So this much, 0.044. This Z should be lesser. How much less I have to go? Let's type 1 here. Okay, now it's fine. Now we can change it manually. So Y. And then X. Okay, so now I will take the decal and put it back there. Control Shift. Okay, now it looks fine, but it looks tiled. So I have to work on the distortion so it breaks the tile. Okay, at least 5 or 2.5 or whatever value suits. I think 2 is good. So to break the tile, we can do that. And then plus to make it subtle, I can work on the roughness as well. And the scale, the bump strength should be 0.15. I think 0.15 or 0.1 is good. So 0.1 or 0.15, because we don't want very harsh effect. We just want it like, like a bumpy texture or irregular surface. So the light actually reacts to that. Otherwise it will be flat and light will not react on it. So I will keep on checking the values. Right now it is 0.12. I think 0.12 is good enough. So I will hide this body 2. Let's go to the body 3 and let's see here what we can change more. I think this looks good, but let's see. Okay, so you can see that it all depends on the angle, the transparency. So don't get afraid if it is not transparent. Just try to change the angle of your object. Okay, now inside the chip, what I can do is that I can go to the chip, okay, material, and take the color, base color of the chip and plug it inside the emission. I will go inside the emission, take the color of the chip and put it inside the emission so it start emitting light. So when it will start emitting light, it will look more brighter, but we don't want it to emit too much light. A very tiny, teeny bit of light so that it is visible behind the glass. So 1, or I think 1 is too much, or it's fine. Because we don't want to make it look like a light. We are just putting that there just so that it is visible. Okay, here as well, you can see that because all the chips are like basically the same. Okay, so this one is also applying the strength here of 1. I think 0.1 or 1. Let's see when we will render. So we are done with all the texturing. So we'll start with the lighting, but what I like to do here is that I would like to like parent all these models to some helper. So I can, if I move the helper, so the whole model moves. Otherwise I have to select all the models. So I will press Shift A and empty and the cube. And this cube will be the parent of the whole model. So what I will do, I will just make it bigger as it's a cage for the whole model. So I will just resize it. And from the sides also, from the x-axis also. So the idea is that it should be not too big or not too small. Should be somewhat same size as of your object. So from this angle, it is quite large. So I will just make it shorter here. Move it up. Okay, now it looks fine. Okay. So what I will do is that I will just put this in the body one folder. I will take all of these part and parent to the empty, and I will select the empty in the end, the last. And now I will press Control P on the keyboard. Okay. So what does the Control P will do is that it will parent the first selected object to the last selected. So the empty was the last selected one. Select all of these. Okay. And the last one. And then I will press Control and then select the last one, which is the empty. Okay. So select first the objects and then in the end the empty, and then Control P and object. Now you can see the empty has become the parent, and inside the empty there the other USB file objects are. Now I will rename it to USB flash disk red. So if I will move the empty, so you can see the whole object moves. So this will make it easier for me. Okay, so I will do similarly the same thing to the other. So I will go to the body 2. Same thing, Shift A. Okay. So here also, I will, first of all, let me rotate it 180 degrees to the other side. Okay. So R, Z, and 180 degrees. So that, when I will put this one, it should be at the side. Okay. Now what I'm doing is aligning it to body 1. So I just unhit that. Now Shift A, empty, and cube. Put the cube inside the body 2. And put it here somewhere. Then Control, and Shift Y. Sorry, SY. A little bigger from here. SX. And then SZ need to be in the center. Okay, SZ. And then SX. Okay. And now a little bit here, SY. Oops. Okay, let's change from here. Let's manually change it. It's not keep. Yeah, now it's fine. Let's manually change it to 0 and then increase the y-axis. This is much better. Sometimes using the property panel for the resize works much more better than the viewport. So now I will select all of these, and then in the end, I will select the cube. Now Control P, object, and empty. I will rename it to USB flash disk 2. Okay. Or disk metal. This is the metal one. So it's better to do it. So now if you can see that, if I move it, okay, it will move easily. Now, same thing with this one, USB 3, but I will align it with the USB 1. So I will, or USB 2. So I will check if everything is fine here. You can unhide the body 1 and then just like this. And then you can take the body 3, everything from the body 3, and try to put this, at the same location, so that whenever you are moving your objects, it's easier for you to do that. So I will unhide the body 1. Okay. And Shift A, empty, and cube, and put this inside the body 3 folder. This one, I can put it here. Scale this. Okay, so that the USB fits inside. So SX. And then SY here. SZ, sorry, here. A little bit more. SZ. Okay, now this is done. Now I will go to the USB and select all of these. And in the end, the empty. You have to select the parenting object in the end, then Shift Control P, then object, and then you can see that it has become the parent. So USB, flash, disk, plastic. Okay. So now it's the last one. So I will hide this, unhide this. And then here as well, I will press Shift A, empty, cube, and try to put the cube in the same location. Okay. Okay, so looks good. I will put this empty in the body 4 folder and select all these. And in the end, the empty, Control P, object, and then take the empty, rename it to USB flash disk, Foggy, plastic. Okay. So now I think if I will go back to the render, you can see that everything looks fine. Now we have to do some lighting stuff here, but let's do one thing. Let's take this timeline, move it upwards. Okay, make it a little bigger. Go to the settings and make it shader editor. Change the object to world so we can apply the Shift A texture, environment texture, and HDRI. So first I will connect this, open, choose an HDRI. This one I think is good. This is studio-based HDRI. I got it from polyheaven.com. I will give it to you, this file as well. Link is in the description. Okay, so I will set up my camera first. Click on the camera, lock the camera. And you can lock the camera in 4.2 or 4.3. So now I will adjust this, the camera settings. I will unlock it and I will zoom or zoom out if you want so that you can see the screen better. Okay. So I just want to connect the scene like better with the HDRI. And keep in mind, okay, I will split this scene into like this window into two. And now what I will do is here is that this one, I will use it for like navigating or moving around, making the composition. And the right window I will use for the reference of the lighting. So I will rotate this on x-axis, something like this. Okay, looks fine now. I will unhide the camera so that I can see the camera, and I will delete the point light because I don't need the point light now. So I will just try to adjust this, move the camera a bit back so I can see the whole USB stick. Your composition has to be really good. The camera, I think, is not in the center, so that's why it looks a bit weird on the right side if you will look the camera view. So I have to adjust everything according to its view. So I'll take the camera and I will go to its object properties and I will change the resolution, rotation to 0, 0, 0. Okay, so that it goes straight. It looks straight down, and then I can rotate the camera on the x-axis like 90 degrees. Okay, and then I can just move my USB to suit the angle actually. Okay. So composition should be a dynamic sort of an angle where we can see the edges of it, because edges are a curved edges. So when the light will fall, it will give very nice highlights to it. And if you will see that the HDRI lighting is pretty good on it, but HDRI, we are only going to use it for a little bit of an ambience. We are not going to use HDRI as our ultimate lighting. Okay, so I'm just going to set this up so I have a nice angle actually. So I just wanted to see the text and the sides of the USB. It's a pretty flat object, so not much of you can see here. Now in the HDRI, in the shader editor, I will select Control T to get this on it, and I can rotate my HDRI and see the good light setup here. Okay, so where I have a good light, so I will rotate the Z axis of my HDRI from the shader editor. Where I will find a sweet spot, a good spot, I will stop there. We are at square one, so I guess this is good. And this is how it should be, because your background should be at the bottom. So I will reduce the strength of the HDRI to 0.1. So we don't want a strong HDRI. But you can see that the microchip inside, the chip inside USB is glowing. So I will add a plane here, Shift A, mesh plane, and I will use this plane as a backdrop. So I will rotate it on x-axis, put it back, S, and scale it. And you have to avoid camera clipping here, because if you will move it really back, you can see that it is clipping. So I don't want to move it to really at the back. Okay. So I will just make it bigger, and I will move, like bring it near. So I will just increase the strength of my background. At least I can see the backdrop. Otherwise I won't be able to see. Now I can see it here. Not that near. At least here. Okay. This is good. Spot 0.1 again. Okay. I will take the backdrop, change its name to backdrop. And put this in the body one. Now, what I'm going to do is that I will just go back to the object mode in the shader editor, take this, make a new material, call this backdrop 1 for the body one, roughness higher 1, color, because you can see the color of my USB flash disk is red. So the background should be the opposite, like the contrasting color. Okay. So the complementary color, which is the opposite of it. So opposite of the red is here. Okay. So I will choose something like that. Okay. Pretty much that's it. Now it's time to a little bit fix the HDRI. So HDRI, I will make it 0.05, not too high. So 0.01, I think. Let's see if the 0.01 is good. No, 0.1 is too high. So 0.01 is fine, because we just need a hint. Okay. Now you can see the chip inside is glowing. So I will go to the chip in the shader editor. The strength of the emission is very high. So I will make it 0.1 as well. I don't know how it got higher, the emission. So 0.05. Let's make it 0.05. Okay, now it's time to work on the lights. So I will press Shift A, light, and first light, area light. I will take this area light. This area light will be for the backdrop. So I will put like target this on the backdrop, so it will be facing the backdrop. Now In the light properties, I will change the shape to disk and the power to at least 10,000. Okay. Size is too small, so I can change the size also. But let me find a good distance between this and the backdrop. So I think 10,000 is too much. Let's change it to, let's try the custom distance. No, I think custom distance is not that good. So 5,000, let's see 5,000. 5,000 is fine. A little near because we don't want a really hot spot in the middle. And I will change the size of this so it will become a little softer, the light itself, because bigger the light is, softer it is. So 8,000. Let's see. We can change it later on also. Okay. Now this light, what I'm going to do is that I will rename it and do backdrop light. So if I will hide this, you can see that it is reacting. Now Shift A, light, area light. Now this light will be for the USB flash disk. So I will just move it away. And this will be a key light. So the key light should be between 30 to 60 degrees of your camera. Okay. So this is the key light. If you remember the 3-point light system we studied, it's from there. That. So I will target this with the yellow dot to the USB. Try to move it and then move the yellow dot there. Okay, so now I will go to the object properties of the light. First of all, let's make sure it is not rotated like this. You can see that it is rotated. So I will go to the local rotation and rotate it on the Z axis so it becomes straight. Otherwise, when the light is, it's kind of annoying when it is rotated like that. It doesn't look good. It doesn't do a lot of difference, but it doesn't look that good. So I will change the shape to rectangle so I can make it longer, shorter, whatever I want, and power a little bit higher, 5,000. Okay. Let's make it a little bigger, taller, so we can have more light on it because our object is tall. So shadow has to be turned on, and 10,000. Yeah, now we are getting somewhere. Okay. Now you can see that with this light, if I increase the value, let's see how I will get the result. Let's see. Let's make this bigger, this window. If I make it shorter or wider, because it's a key light, it's the main light that lights up your scene. Let's move it closer, not too close. I think somewhere this. So lighting is a kind of a process which takes time. So basically we have to do light for only our one USB flash disk, and the others we will just copy paste and tweak. So I'm just trying to find a good spot angle here. With 5,000, it will look like this. Let's see what angle it looks. And it doesn't has to face exactly directly on your object. It can be far away from your object and leaking on your object as well. So you can do that too. Okay. Like indirect lighting. So let's try 10,000 again. Okay. I just want this of an effect, let me rotate it, like a highlight effect on the top as well. So that's what I'm trying to do. But this white harsh reflection is not looking good. Okay. So area light with power 3000 is not that. Okay. Shift A and then add another light. I will add another light for the as a fill light. This will be on the side. So this fill light will be rectangle as well. And the power, I will increase it to around, let's see, let's first do one thing. Let's fix this one first. Okay, first fix this. Okay, that was 3000. This should be 1000. So fill light should not be more than the key light. So key light is 3000. This is 1000. Okay, so now you can see that. Let's hide this key light first so that we can focus on the fill light. Okay, fill light looks good. Yeah, doesn't look bad. Yeah, it's giving good highlight there. Yeah, especially at this point. You can see that nice. It looks nice. Just it has to follow the angle of the flash disk, and a little bit taller so I can get more of the highlights on the top and on the bottom as well. Okay, so we can see the curve, the edges, everything. It should not be. Okay, I have to rotate it so that the highlight appears straight. So I don't want to see that white reflection on it, but at least the white reflection is now following the shape of the USB flash disk. I'll just make it shorter, the reflection, and move the light a little bit away. I think maybe somewhere here or there. It depends wherever you want. Maybe let's try it here. So 500. As long as it is not more than the key light, it's fine. Okay, so I will make this back to timeline because we are done with the HDRI. Okay, now 200, 500. Let's see. 500, I think, is good. Now, let's go back to the area light. Now, area light, you can see that it's too much. I think let's make it 1000. And let's try to open area, the fill light also and the key light also. So they both does not like it, like they don't have good proximity. So let's move this uh, key light. They should have a good proximity, like they kind of belongs to each other. Should be that kind of a vibe. So let's see what is the good angle here. Okay. So this I will make it 2000. And I can move it very far away from it. Let's make it a little bit Let's rotate it but here. Okay. So it reflects from the side, not from the front, because if it will reflect from the front, we will lose all the details. Okay. And try to rotate the USB flash disk as well. We can have a good angle there. Yeah, this looks good, this angle. Sometimes you have to move the object as well. So let's try to put this there. Okay. And now I will increase the key light to 5000 just to see what's the effect. Yeah, I think it's good. So I will add one more light, and this light will be the rim light, means like the backlight. So I will put it behind the scene, means like behind my flash disk. Now I will also make it a rectangle, plus this size a little bit bigger. So at least I have initial size I can work with. And I will hide all the lights except this. Always you have to hide the lights and work on it one by one. But I think the HDRI light is also there a little bit. So we can ignore that for now. So I will just try to put this in a way that it creates a good rim effect, like a back effect, which separates the object from the background. So that kind of effect I want. So I have increased it to 800. Let's see how the 800 looks like. Let's make it a little bigger because I say backlight. And keep in mind, we have to render it in the cycle. So right now we are in the EV. So the result will be not that good. So cycles give you much more better result. But as cycles makes the computer slower, so we are in EV just to check the light basics, and then we can shift. So I'll try to make something as more popping out as the background separation, because I want to make the object to separate from the background. So I need the highlights on the edges, basically more on the edges. Okay. So now I can try to reduce it to 300, 450, 400. Okay, so 405. Let's try to open all of it just to see what is the effect. Okay, so kind of looks fine. Okay. Okay, I will go to the shading part. And one thing I have to check here is this microchip thingy. Okay. So this chip thingy, maybe 0 point, or make it zero, completely zero. Let's see. It doesn't make much of a difference. Even with the 0.05 or 0.01, it was fine. Okay, so backdrop, I will turn it on. I will go to the backdrop light, go to the object properties, and I will use the light linking here. What is light linking? It will allow me to drop the backdrop light only on the backdrop and exclude the others. So how do we do that? It only works with the cycles. So first, let me set these up, the scene and everything. Then I will do the light linking here. Okay. So first of all, I have to, I, I can rename the lights as well before, but first let's go to the cycles and see is everything is fine. This one is the key light. So I will take this, make this as a key light. Okay. This one has to be fill light. So I did the undo and then I changed the name correctly. Okay. And this one is the backlight and I will call this rim light or backlight. Okay. My computer is getting slow because the cycles are off. Like my computer is just like, is a strong computer, but still a little bit lagging is there. A little bit, not too much. Okay. So now I will go to the backdrop light, go to the object properties, go to the shading, go to the light linking and press new. Now, if I will drag the backdrop inside this light linking and turn this on or off, if I turn this on, the backdrop from here in the light linking, that means the backdrop lighting will be only falling on the backdrop, not on others. Now I will take the fill light and I will do the same thing, but this time I will go new. I will go to the new. I will take the backdrop, drag it here, but this time I will uncheck it because I don't want the fill light to drop on the backdrop. Okay, only on the object. So also I can choose the existing like light link like collection and apply it. That I can also do. So now this part is done. So I can go to the rim light. Okay. And select all of it. Let's select all the lights. Once the lights are selected, press M, create new collection. Okay. And I will create a new selection called the lights or body one lights. So these will be body one lights. Okay. So all the lights are in the body one lights and I will put this body one lights in the body one collection. So if I will hide the body one, all the lights inside the body one will also hide. So now I will duplicate this body one light and the backdrop and put this in the body two and do the tweaking. So I will take this one, all the lights. Okay. First of all, let's unhide the body two. And because body two, it's laying down on the floor. So I have to take the body two, I have to rotate it in a way that it actually is in the standing position, just like the body one. So I will just rotate it with my rotation. Okay. I will move it and try. What I'm doing is that I'm trying to match the location of the object one. Now I will go to the body one and hide the body. Oh, sorry. I will hide the body two and I will do exactly the same thing for the body three. I will take the body three and rotate it and try to match its angle with the body one. So that, whenever I want to render, I can simply render with the existing lights. Only maybe the backdrop color I will change it. This was it will make your workflow more faster. So I will just rotate it the same way I did for the body 2. I'm doing the same thing for the body 3. Okay, so now I think this is done for the body 3 as well. So I will do now for the body 4. Body 4 is exactly the same thing, so it will be more easier. Only the colors are different. Okay. Hide this one as well. So now I will duplicate the lights and the backdrop, and I will keep on putting these lights and backdrops, the duplicated one, in each body 2, body 3, body 4 folder. So I will go here, select this, the backdrop, okay, duplicate the backdrop. I think I have to, I think it's better to duplicate it from the viewport rather than right clicking here, because keep on annoying. It's an annoying selection here. Let's do from here. I will go to, I will select all the lights first from the scene itself. Select all, right click, select objects, then Shift D. Okay, then right click here. If you right click after Shift D, it will just put it on the same place. So I will drag and drop in the body 2. And as you know, body 2 is already hidden. That's why the lights will hide as well. Now I will take the backdrop 1. Okay, and then drop it in the body 2 as well. Now if I'll hide this, unhide this one, so you can see that everything is there. Now I will take the backdrop, okay, go to the shading, and the backdrop should match the body. So what I will do, I will just duplicate this material of the backdrop, name it backdrop 2, and I will change the color of it. Let's go back to the layout mode and go to the material. Now from here, I want the material of the color of this backdrop like the opposite of the color. Now it is monochrome, so color should be monochrome as well, like a light grayish sort of a color. Okay, so I will turn everything into white, like RGB. All should be white. 11111. Okay, and now I can change the shade here. Maybe a dark, not dark, dark or light. It's up to you. Okay, because I don't want the metal of the USB to hide much more with the with the dark color. So I will turn on the cycles so I can see the colors much more better in the cycles. So now I will try to fix the lights here in the light linking. So I have to add the backdrop 2 in the backdrop light as well, because now, you know, we have duplicated. So I will do for the others as well. The same thing what we did in the body 1. Okay. So I will keep on dragging this inside. Okay. Now it is fine. So now we can change easily the backdrop color. So in the light linking, you just have to put the backdrop there for the backdrop light so that it will only fall on the backdrop, and check mark it. And on the others, add the backdrop, but uncheck it so that those other lights will not fall or fall on the backdrop. So that's what we call exclude and include with the light linking in Blender. I'll try to make a good scene over here for the lights here. Okay. Okay, so I will just keep on checking the lights. Now I will, I think, increase the background light 10,000 because the background here, I think, looks very dark. So I just need a good light here and the color of the background, little lighter, but not too light. So I think this much is fine. But if you will see the USB flash, the USB metal head is very dark. So that I have to fix it as well. Okay. Yeah. Now it's better if because I moved it on the x-axis to the right side, so it's not that dark anymore. Let's try to move it a little bit more. Yeah, now it looks much more better. Let's make it taller so that the lights can hit on the bottom surface of the USB because there is an edge. If you remember, we added the bevel on the on the bottom and the side, so we need to see those edges. So I think this setting is good. Now let's work on the fill light. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's hide the lights here just to see the fill light effect. And then we can keep on unhiding and hiding back. So just only the fill light right now. Okay. Or hide the fill light right now. And let's see the rim light. We can hide and unhide and then, you can work on. So right now the rim light is only unhidden. Rim light is the backlight. So our backs, the sides of our USB flash drive has to be lit, well lit, and should look nicer. Okay, I think this much is fine. You can notice the values here, what I have used there. And now I'm the key light. So in the key light, these are the values here. So one by one, you can hide, unhide the lights and try to set them up. Don't set them all at once by turning them all on. First, you have to unhide. Like first, you have to hide the others, and the one that you're working on, unhide that. So it's a bit tedious process of like very annoying process, but I know that this lesson will be really long, and the reason it will be long because I want to just show you each and every the whole process, the part of here, the part of it. Okay. So you can see that this is how the lights actually look like. Okay, so I have selected my key light. It's 5,000 value of the key light. Okay, and I will move it slight away from the flash disk. This file will be uploaded, so you can see in the file as well the values and everything. You can download from the link given in the description below. So just a little bit like tweaking I will do here. Again, the backdrop color. Think this much is fine. This is too bright. Uh, okay, I think this is fine. not too bright. Later on, we can also change whenever we want. Let's keep it right now, like this one. Okay, now I will duplicate all the lights again. I will select all the lights, duplicate them, and put these all lights in the body 3 with the backdrop. So now we can work on the body 3. So I have duplicated all the lights from the body 2 and moved it inside the body 3. So I want the backdrop also. Okay. So this should go inside the body 2 folder. I have put them in the folder. So for body 3 folder. So I have put them in the body 3. The lights are there in the body 3. And the backdrop is there as well. So lights I think are fine. Just I have to change the backdrop, like color. So the white backdrop color doesn't look good. And you can see that the part of the transparency part is blue. So the opposite color of the blue is red. So I think the reddish background will look good, like maroonish sort of thing. Yeah, this looks good. So I will keep this. That's it here. Okay. Now I will go to the settings of each and every light and I will do the light linking again so that the new backdrop will be only in the, we should be affected by the background and vice versa, just like what we did before. And this only works in the cycles, by the way. So I'm done with the other lights and stuff here. So not much of the lights I have to change here in the back in the body 3, just like a few of it. So I will hide all the lights now. And the, oops. Oh, okay. Okay, what I will do here is that I will delete the body 3 lights and I will copy the body 1 lights to body 3 because I think body 3 lights, body 1 lights are better than the body 2 lights. So I will copy the body 1 lights now and I will paste it in the body 3 lights. Okay. So not the body 2. Body 2 lights I have deleted and I have added the body 3 lights, body 1 lights into the body 3. Okay, so I have to go through the backdrop again. I will go to the backdrop. Okay. And I will change the color of the backdrop as well here. First, let's do the light linking of the backdrop and then change the color of the backdrop to the reddish maroonish. Okay, now I think this looks fine. Now the inside of the transparent plastic looks very dark. We can add a point light inside that so it will light it up. And in the point light, we will only link it to that transparent plastic. Okay, so it will only light up the transparent plastic other than the chip inside or any other thing inside. Okay, or maybe you don't need to do that as well. So let me arrange these lights. Okay, the cycles, because if I'm recording it on the OBS, you might feel it's lagging. You might see it as lagging because of this, uh, like the cycles. Okay, so now what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to arrange the light in a way that it makes the glass more highlighted. Okay, now I will work on the rim light. Okay, so this is the fill light. This is the key light. Okay, so key light a little bit in front. Okay, I think this much is fine. So I'll just try to match it in a way that it looks like this. So now I will add a point light, and I will put this point light inside this USB flash drive, like the glass part. So it will highlight whatever is inside. Okay, so you can see that it is highlighting whatever is inside much more in a better way. So we can exclude with the light linking the chip. So it will not highlight the chip. Or we can make the chip itself emitting more light. So it's up to you, or like the way, or whatever way you want to do. Okay, so from here I will fast forward it because it will take a lot of time, because it's the same thing what I did for the body one, and I'm just repeating that just so that the light looks good. Okay, so I will repeat this for the same thing for the body 4 now, and then I will try to rotate the body 4 a little bit towards the camera, so that because it's a foggy plastic, so it shows underneath. Okay. Zinteractive, your own training institute. Okay, one thing I have noticed here is that if you will notice like the supporting cylinders inside this body 4 are red. They are not supposed to be red. So I will change them to the same transparent plastic as the top and body, like the foggy one, the one I created for the body 4. I will change this one to the USB top plastic, the foggy one, and this one as well. So now it looks like good, but still I cannot see what is inside. So I have to turn this USB around in an angle so that we can see what it is inside, because the light is exactly on in front of it. Okay, so I will just do a little bit tweaking here with the settings, like, I can increase or decrease the roughness and everything. And you can find that in the final Blender file, which I will give you, and you can find that in the link. Okay, sorry, in the description, the link of it. So here, what I have done is that I have rotated it. So it's giving a kind of nice look to it, and we can see now what is inside, because this angle is good. The angle that was before wasn't good. So this angle looks good. So it's time for the final tweaking. So let's do the final tweaking here. Training Institute. Okay, so now our lighting are done. So first render, let's see how is the first render of each one of them. And we can see all of them all together. So I will render this one. And you can see I'm using 1024 samples here. So this is render and you can see the result, how it is. Let me save this one. So I will save it as USB flash red. Okay. So let's hide this one and hide this. Okay, so I have to turn off the rendering of body 1 also and turn on the rendering of for body 2 also. So that I forgot about before. Now I'll render again. So now it is rendering. This is also using 1024 samples. Let's see how it goes. So this is also done. So I will save this one as well. I will save it as. So instead of red, I will change it to metal. So this will be the metal one. And I will hide it, the body 2 and the rendering of body 2. And I will unhide the body 3 and the rendering of the body 3 also. Let me unhide the rendering of body 1 and hide the rendering of body 1 and unhide the rendering of body 3. And I will render the file here, render image. This is also 1024 samples. So you can see that 1024 samples are here. And now this is also rendered. So I will go to the image, save as. And this one, I will save it as flash USB flash plastic. Okay, now I will hide the body 3 and the rendering of body 3 and unhide the rendering and body 4 visibility. So render image. And let's render this one. This is also done. So I will go to image, save as, and USB flash Foggy plastic. So now this is done. We will save this. And I will show you one few more like settings I did before, like the lights I did before. Let's render those as well. Okay. So here also, if you see that, these are more like different light settings. So I will render these. Okay. With the body one here, I have the orange background instead of the blue background. It looks like this. And let's do one thing here. Let's change the index of refraction of the plastic 1.1 so that it becomes more transparent and shows whatever is inside more. Okay, so I will go to the top plastic and the bottom plastic and change the index of refraction to 1.1 and the supports. Okay, so let's render this. Okay, this is rendering with much more higher samples. This is 4096. So let's do one thing. Let's lower down the samples, or one more thing, the chip. Let's do one thing. Let's increase the emission of the chip. Right now it is 0.1. Let's make it 5 so that it is more visible inside, or 3, just to make it more visible. Nothing special. Let's render it. I'll keep the samples 4096. So that like the result will look much more better. Okay, a few more changes before it renders. I forgot. Let's okay, let's render. It's okay, let's render. Let's render. I just wanted to make sure something, but that's fine. So now I will save this one as USB red plastic 2. Okay, so I will go to the stick 2 and render this one as well. The body 2, sorry, not the stick 2. And it is rendered, so I will save it as USB flash metal 2. Now I will take the body 3 and I will render this one. But this is upside down, so, but it's okay. So this is also, I think I should do some changes here first before rendering it. What's the issue here? Let's see. Oh, I think let's rotate it, because the light was not that good with when it was upside down. Let's do this. Yeah. So let's render this one. So it's done. I will save it as the USB flash plastic 2. So let's see one by one now how these renders are. This you can see, this is the foggy plastic one. Okay. Let me zoom in. Yeah. This is a foggy plastic. You can see that how it looks like. This is the stick. This is the lighter version. Lighter version looks better. This is darker. It's not that good. And this is the red plastic. And this is another red plastic. And by the way, you can use HDR images in your lights. Let's do that too in this after this. Okay. So this you can see that this is the red plastic. This is the with the orange background. Okay. Okay, so you can see all of these images. So let's try lights with the HDR now. The HDRI files. So actually, if you will see the lights here, when they are hitting the object or the backdrop, they are kind of flat because what the light is, if you will notice, they are just like flat color. Okay. So they will not have a variation over here. So if you will see from here, you will not see a variation. It's all flat. But what if we add an HDR image to each light? So you will that will avoid this flat color. That will get more variation to the lights. Okay, similar to the gobo light effect or different like IES light effect. So those kind of things. So I will take this light first of all, and I will go to the timeline and make this as a shader. Now, let's do one thing before going through this. Let me come out of my mode here, like a camera mode. Let's change this because I have one more like a sticker. So I will delete this sticker and put this one here without the sticker now. I can put the new sticker here. That will look good. And here I can remove these decals. Okay. This one, I don't know what to remove. This one is fine. This one, I will add it here. So I will do one thing here. Select this, Control-Shift-D. Okay, so this is the one I didn't use and I like this one. So I will select this, put it somewhere here, apply it here, make it a little bigger and move it. Okay. Select this and just blend it. Okay, now I can go back here. So what we were talking about, yes, the light HDR. So I will take this light from here. Okay. And then to apply texture on it, I have to be in the shader node and I have to make sure you can go to the shader node either from here or from here. So you have to make sure the use nodes is on. When the use node is on, you can connect, the emission is like connected already here for the light. You can add a secondary image to it, like in another image. So what I will do, I will press Shift A texture, image texture. IES you can also put, but that's a completely different topic. We will learn that in some other class. So I will go to the image textures, put it here, connect the color to the color of the light. Okay. And then you will notice that it is kind of giving you this purple. Let's do one thing here. Let's hide these lights here. Okay. So at least you can see the light effect here. Okay. Now this, if I will increase it, let's hide this for now. If I will increase this strength to 100, for example, not here. Here, if I will make it, it's like 25,000, for example, you will notice that it is not giving any sort of a texture on it, like, or you can say like a variation on it. If I will go to the image texture, open it up, here I have some HDRI light effects. Okay. Oh, sorry, not in this folder, where it is, HDRI. Yeah. So I have this soft, I will give you these files. Don't worry. The link is in the description below. So you can, you have the soft box HDR. If I will take this one and open it up, so it will start applying, it will just put this light effect on it. So you got the point here. So, and also we can make this one a clip so it will not repeat. I will hide this, go to the rim light, select the rim light, do the same thing, use node. Okay, Shift A, texture, image texture, connect the color to it. Okay, I will here load the light. Okay, by the way, right now I'm in the EV. So if I will go to the cycles, you can see that it is showing me a purple color behind. Okay, so in the cycles, in the EV, it doesn't work. It only works in the cycles. So once we will move to the cycle for rendering, then you can see the more effect there. So what I will do, I will go to the image texture, open it up, and go again to the HDRI, same softbox. Okay, hide this. Okay, now fill light. Now we'll take the fill light, use node. Okay, and Shift A, texture, image texture, click it, select, move it here, connect to the light. Now, I don't have any image right now inside. So let me show you one thing. If I go to the cycles, you will see it is all purple. The reason is that because there is no image loaded. So if I will go to open HDRI, choose the softbox, we will have the variation here. Okay, so this only works with the cycles. Okay, so if I will hide it, this light, and turn on the backdrop light, and I will choose the backdrop, use nodes, Shift A, and then I will go to the shader, texture, image texture, connect the color to it, and now I will show it to you again in the cycles. See, the whole thing turned into purple. Okay, because there is nothing loaded. So I have to open HDRI. And this time I will choose the umbrella. So I will select the umbrella and open it. And this is the effect you will get. So let me go back to the EV. So this is how you will get it. Okay, now I will turn on all of these. Let's go back to let me do one thing here. Let me join this here and go back to this mode. Come out of the camera mode, because now we are going to start rendering in the cycles, and I will turn on the cycles. Okay. So first thing is this. I have to go to the, okay, one more thing. In the like settings, if I will go here, take the 4K resolution. Okay. Like, for example, if I go here, multiply it by 2, and this one also multiply it by 2. So this will become 4K. Okay. Or you can choose from the preset. So if I will go to the render, and then I will go to the render image, okay, you can see the half of it is rendering. The other half is not rendering. The reason is that because it is rendering 4 tiles. So first it will render this tile. And when this is done, it will render this tile. Then it will render the other 2 on the top. So if your resolution is higher, it divides the rendering into tiles. So it can render nicely. Okay. So let's wait and to see if everything is rendered on time. So now this half of the image has been rendered. Now the other half is rendering. You can see this is quite noisy because it is rendering right now. And you can see it has started. So one tile is done, like 3 other tiles are left. Okay, so now the both sides are done. Now this the third tile, which is you can see on the top, this is rendering. It will not take time because this is just a flat background and it's a very small tile. You can see that's very thin tile on the top. Okay, so this is, we can say the third tile and this is the fourth. And now the fourth has started. So now the fourth will also not take time. And just right after this, our whole image will be a render, because once your image is rendered and if you have applied the denoiser, if you have enabled the denoiser, so it will denoise. So now it is denoising. You can see that. And now the denoising is done. And this is our final image. And I will go save it as in this HDRI folder. No, not this one. There is one folder where I am saving. Yeah, this one. So as 5. So now let's close the Blender. And by the way, if you want to save everything, like the textures and lights and everything inside, so what you need to do is that you have to like save it as like you have to go to the file, external data, and then you have to pack resources. Okay, so if you will go to the pack resources, and then it will pack it. Okay, also you can pack the link libraries. Okay, also you can check this one, automatically pack resources. It will keep on packing resources whenever you upload, or like whenever you import anything from outside, like the HDRI file or images, textures. And now if I will go here to the save as, okay, and save this Blender file. Okay, where is the USB drive? This is the one, and I will save it as USB flash final. And you can find this in like the link in the description below. So if I will save it, it will save with everything, the textures, the file, like the HDRI and everything. Now let's see all the renders, because what I did next was that I have applied the same HDRI images which I applied on these lights. I have applied on the lights on the body 2, body 3, body 4. So on all the lights, I have applied those HDRI light textures with the use node. So here we have all the high resolution images. Let's make it 100%. Okay. So These are high resolution one, 4K with the HDRI lights. So you will see that the effect here, like the lights, you can see the background, how the background warmish it looks like. Okay. And it gives very nice variations to your light, the HDRI lights linking when you do that, like the texturing of the lights. You can see this. And this is the latest one that we just render right now. And I hope you liked this really long like tutorial. Okay. And I hope it was worth watching it. So
if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do it now and don't forget to hit the bell icon. By the way, I have noticed that many of you are watching my videos without subscribing. So let's change that. Subscribe to my channel and be the part of the Zinteractive community. Now, here's something really important I want to talk about. Please do not download my videos. Just watch them online. When you download them, it messes up my watch time hours. And that's a bummer. I want to keep creating awesome videos, but it's demotivating when I lose out on those stats. Thanks a bunch for your support. You guys rock. Catch you all in the next video.